thanks to its beautiful crystal-clear beaches and coral reefs. With its white sandy beaches, turquoise waters, and swaying palm trees, Maldives can make you feel like you're in paradise. If you're thinking about visiting the Maldives anytime soon, here are some of the top 10 places you must see when you're there. With scooters and cars and Indian bazaars filled with coconuts and spice, Male, the capital of the Maldives atolls, has the frenetic feel of a place crammed into an insufficient space. That's because it is. It is a tiny island in the North Male Atoll that is rarely visited. Most travelers bypass it on seaplanes heading straight for their resort. However, it manages to cram some fascinating sights between its streets, such as the 17th century Friday Mosque and the gold-tipped Islamic Center. Haggling skills are a must at the Male Market. As more and more land is reclaimed to house the sprawling urban tendrils of Male, the island of Hulhumale is ever growing. Besides being the main gateway to these paradisiacal islands, Valana International Airport is also located here. Don't be put off by how that sounds. Hulhumale is actually very charming. There are leafy neighborhoods, a glass-topped mosque, and proposed promenade walkways above the Indian Ocean on its eastern haunch. Although Mafushi doesn't have the sprawling luxury resorts and opulent five-star hotels of its nearby brothers, it's got plenty of charm. After being ravaged by the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the place has been busy rebuilding its salt-washed fishing jetties and industrious sailor huts. As a result of opening up rights to local guest houses, Mafushi is becoming one of the best offbeat island getaways on a budget. The beaches are lined with palm trees, the waves lapping, and there are a number of small coffee shops on the shore. The beautiful site of Honeymoon, situated on the far northernmost of all the Maldivian islands, holds a special place in the nation's history. Historically, it was the home of Sultan Mohammed Thakurufanu, who drove out Portuguese invaders in the late 16th century. In addition to sparkling white sands and lapping waves of the Indian Ocean, the area also boasts heritage sites such as Honeymoon, the home of the revered leader. During the 19th century, residents of nearby Gan Island, more on that one later, lived between the leafy streets and tight-knit housing blocks here. Before World War II, the British transformed Gan into an air base, and locals were relocated to another island along the Sinu Atoll. In Fedu, you can see how Maldivian life is lived today. You are always welcome to stroll the windy walkways and sample seafood curries with the locals. Fedu is connected to Meridhu by a seaside causeway that runs just above the coral-fringed shores of the Sinu Atoll to the east. In the Indian Ocean, it juts out like a finger, fringed with coconut palm groves and narrow beachfronts. Locals are laid back and lovely, and seafood is abundant in Fedu's cuisine. Visit the coffee shops and sandwich vendors that line Link Road between the palm trees and flit between them. Sunsets glisten red and yellow over the Indian Ocean. Cocktails clink in the luxurious resort's bar. Sea kayaks bob on the turquoise shoreline, and crystal-clear waves roll in from the inland lagoon. Known as one of the top Maldives honeymoon destinations, Velagandu Island is an ultra-beautiful island. On this long, thin finger of land on the western edge of the North Male Atoll, honeymooners and newlyweds are common sights, and opulent seaside villas and suites match their moods. Travelers heading to the Maldives are primarily interested in diving. Banana Reef is the best place in the country to don scuba gear and wetsuits. Between the isles of the North Male Atoll lies this fruit-shaped sandbank covered in corals and seaweed. It is served by countless outfitters who lead excursions to discover striped snappers, bulbous sponges, reef sharks, and barracudas. Vulastu Island seems to be driven by the spirit of the saltwash Caribbean. This speck in the Male Atolls is surrounded by wide spaces of sand from which coconut trunks sprout by the hundreds. In addition to the great beaches, the locals love to fire up a sizzling seafood barbecue every now and then in their fading fishing boats. The other pastime of travelers on Thewlis who is surfing. Nearby, there are left-hand rollers that turn into barrels off Vilingili Mathivura. Hulhumale is a little different from the other Maldivian atolls. The first thing that stands out about this speck on the map of the Indian Ocean is that it has no nearby neighbors and occupies its own atoll. This flat country is also peppered with inland lakes, which is a rare sight, while the sandbanks that surround popular Banning Beach provide crashing rollers and refreshing salt spray, a break from the usual relaxing lagoon lapping. The proximity to the equator ensures steamy weather throughout the year.